Hey everyone, welcome to the Melanin Report. Before we jump into today's topic, I want to make a disclaimer. This podcast, whether you are listening on Anchor, Spotify, or now YouTube, is strictly for commentary purposes. I try to be as accurate as I possibly can and do as much research as I can, but I am not a primary source for actual news, so please keep that in mind. So, I am a huge fan of the Sims franchise. I've been playing The Sims since middle school. I started with The Sims 3 and I've been playing with the franchise ever since then. Many people in the Sims community have had many criticisms of The Sims 4 and everything that it lacks, including myself. Recently, EA and Maxis announced a new game pack that is coming on September 8th, which is actually today, and it's called The Journey to Batuu, and I believe this is based off of a Disney park attraction from what I've heard. I'm not really into Star Wars like that, and so I'm not entirely sure, but this is a Star Wars themed pack, very niched, and the response to this announcement has been just overwhelmingly negative. It's understandable. It's understandable that people are upset because this is not something that the community has asked for at all. And it's been so bad that any advertisements that the Sims team puts out about this new pack has been met with huge backlash and criticism. Their like to dislike ratio on their premiere video has been crazy. And as I'm currently recording this, the last that I checked is probably even more now, but the last I checked on their YouTube channel, on their announcement video, it had, I'm pretty sure the numbers have increased by this point. It had 101,000 dislikes and only 40,000 likes. And this is very telling of how people are responding to this. The Sims team hasn't really addressed much of the negativity. They don't really feed into the negativity like that unless it's something big. But this has gotten like a bigger response than even the My Pet Stuff pack that had came out. And so I think that they are definitely trying to ignore it. And honestly, as a company, I wouldn't blame them for that. But it doesn't make them look good at all for them to just be kind of ignoring the community in a sense, because they're getting it everywhere. Like, they're getting the backlash on all platforms. There's no way that they just don't see it. And so one of the sim gurus, sim guru Lindsay, she had took to Twitter and she actually admitted that there were some Star Wars fans in their team, including herself, and that this was something that they wanted to do. However, many people feel that this was some sort of, paid collaboration between EA and the Star Wars franchise. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was some type of paid advertisement for, the Disney park attraction and just Star Wars in general. And honestly, I probably think that the goal here on EA's part was to bring in, possibly a new crowd of players to The Sims that hadn't played The Sims before. But I don't know. This pack just feels very odd and out of place. A lot of what Simmers have been asking for is more realistic gameplay, and the Star Wars just goes completely against that. And funny enough, there was a survey that went around, I forgot when, it was either like a few months ago or last year, I can't remember, but there was a survey that had went around asking Simmers what they wanted from the game, and it wasn't an official survey by EA. It was done by like a popular source that covers The Sims. I forgot exactly who did this survey, but a lot of people took it. And funny enough, Star Wars was on that survey, and people went back and pulled up the survey to see where it ranked. And what do you know? It was rated last out of everything. I mean, some of the stuff that was up there, I believe, was like hotels, a wedding pack, a reality TV pack, stuff like that. There was like 30 options that people could rate, like for which packs they would want to see in the future. Star Wars was at the very bottom of that list, and I believe that there were thousands of people that took that survey. And so, I don't know if anyone that works for The Sims saw this survey or not, or if it was, too late, because even if they did see it, who knows how long they've actually been working on this pack. It might have been a situation where it was a little bit too late. As far as like when the surveys went around, they could have easily been already working on this pack when those surveys came out. And so, because a lot of people have brought that up too. They're like, oh, why are you putting out surveys if you're not gonna give us what we want on the surveys? But I think that the time period between when these surveys are being put out and when the content is actually being made, I think that time frame is very long. Like, it's a very long process. It's probably going to be a long time before we see anything on that actual survey being made. So I don't necessarily knock EA for that, because just because you put out a survey last week doesn't mean that they're gonna make a pack out of it that next month. Like, production takes a really long time. Video games, especially at AAA studios, take a really long time to make. And so I wasn't really expecting anything off the survey yet. But yeah, I just think that, a Star Wars type of pack probably would have been better received if the game wasn't already lacking so much. Because as I said earlier, the simmers in this community, they want more realistic gameplay. And this just goes against everything that we have been asking for. And a lot of people feel like, forget a survey, like there's stuff that we've been asking for since day one. Like, we're going on, I believe, 6 years since The Sims 4 came out. And there's just been so much that we've been wanting, like bunk beds and stuff like that. And people are just, they're fed up. They're fed up. They're tired. They're sick of The Sims. They're bored of The Sims. And yeah, so, I haven't really had much expectations with The Sims 4. For me, my hope went out the window, back when my first pet stuff was released. It was at that point that I was like, okay, yeah, this isn't gonna be like the other franchises. Like, this isn't gonna be like that. And especially when The Sims 4 first came out, they didn't even have, much stuff. And so, me personally, my expectations have been low. But this whole situation has just, hit a whole new low for EA and Maxis. And to be completely honest with you, The Sims 4 overall has just been very mediocre. Again, in comparison to the last several installments, Sims 3, Sims 2, and even back to Sims 1, it just seems very, very mediocre. A lot of stuff is lacking from the game, and it just seems like they are being very tone deaf to what the players actually want. And there are so many like amazing features and gameplay mechanics that were in previous versions that never even made it to The Sims 4. And I think that this has a lot to do with the fact that Maxis now works under EA. It has not always been like this. I feel like when they were their own independent studio, they had way more freedom, and the game just was overall better. They could do what they want, and they could actually listen to us. And, again, when The Sims 4 first came out, we didn't even have toddlers or pools in the game. So that right there shows you the lackluster effort that has been put into this particular installment of The Sims. And so, at this point, I'm ready for The Sims 5 to come out, and hopefully they give us what we want from the very beginning. But let me know you guys' thoughts about what you guys think of this new pack in the comments down below, and I will talk to you guys later.